Good evening, everybody. What is up? My name is Matt. Welcome back to Gone Digging Live from the Relic Room. And I'm pretty excited to have 34 of my closest friends to come hang out with me and Bob from the Hoover Boys. I hope everybody had a great week and got to go out and recover some history wherever you are. Me and Jamie are able to go out and find a few things, and there'll be a video of that on Thursday, which we're really excited about. So without a whole lot of further ado, you guys know him as Bobby Buttons, all kinds of Bob nicknames, Bob from the Hoover Boys. Let's see if we can go ahead and just bring him in and get this thing started. So, there we go. Bob, what is up?
Hello, my fellow Americans. Welcome to the Relic Room.
Right, we were threatening to do a Halloween mask.
We were, but this was bad enough.
Bad enough. So, how are you doing this evening, man? So, normally working on a Tuesday night, but you came to hang out with us, and absolutely excited about that.
I did.
Yeah.
And all four people that will attend.
All four. I think Kurt may be upset if more. Actually, I don't think Kurt would be upset. I think Brad would be more upset if more folks turned in for you than him.
Who?
This Brad guy.
Oh, I remember that guy. Okay, I remember him now. Should be here somewhere. Down there.
Yeah. There he is. And speak of the devil, he's in there. He's a gorgeous human being right there. So man, let's just go ahead and start off right off the top, man. Like how did you get into metal detecting and history and all of those good things?
Well, I got into metal detecting because I had an uncle who always had a metal detector, like ever since I can remember. And wherever we would go on family functions or whatever, he had a metal detector. And I liked it. And I got my first metal detector, like an old junky Radio Shack thing, at a flea market, probably paid like $5 for it or something. And I used the snot out of it. And I liked it. And I was hooked.
And I mean that wasn't yesterday. So how long have you been actually digging for?
What did you mean by that?
I mean, it was the day before yesterday.
It only seems like yesterday.
I mean, yeah. Time does fly.
It was a long time ago. We're talking like, I don't know, I might have been maybe 12 or so,
wow.
Probably a long time ago. So like 10 years maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so when you would hang out with your uncle and you would like, was it just he always had one or did he take you out metal detecting?
No. He just always had one and he would metal detect wherever we went for whatever reason. I mean, he wasn't looking like for stuff like we are now. He was just looking for stuff in the ground. Apparently, I really couldn't tell you his intentions, but he metal detected. He dug stuff up. I thought it was cool. And because you can't see in the ground, and when you can find something digging out of the ground, it just struck me as pretty cool. And I liked it.
Digging Buddy said, scoot over a little bit to your right. They want you more in the frame. There you go, right there. You got a nice looking necklace too.
I do. I had this made.
Custom made.
Yeah, custom made. You guys see that?
Was there a find that he made that, like, as a kid you were just absolutely blown away with? Or like something that really stood out that you remember, or it was just all cool and all fascinating?
No, it was just fascinating being able to find stuff in the ground that you wouldn't normally know was there. You know, whatever it was probably mostly junk he dug up, but it came out of the ground, and there was no way of knowing it was there without using a metal detector. And then once you get that whole, treasure chest hidden in the ground kind of thing in your head, I guess, it's all downhill from there.
So when you got your own machine, what was the first like significant thing that you can remember being like, holy crap, this is cool? Like aside from the normal, I mean, when you first start, you always dig a lot of junk.
Yeah, I probably just like the first coin I probably found was just really cool. Like, wow, there's money in the ground. I'm guessing that's how it starts. Just like, the first guy was like, wow, there's gold in the ground. I got to get it out, And I just probably finding pocket change stuff like, wow, there's money. This could add up.
Right.
And once you start, dig some junk jewelry and stuff, wow, there could be real jewelry.
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like any sort of something that you're like, holy crap, maybe this is valuable. Yeah, let's keep going, right?
The first super cool, crazy thing, well, that wasn't the first. Well, it was the first super cool, crazy, but I found a Morgan dollar. But it was at a sports field that wasn't built until the 90s. And it was probably lost by some kid that took it out of his dad's drawer or something and went to show it to his friends and lost it. I've never dug another one since then, but
yeah, but that's cool. I mean, that's an interesting story of like how did that get there? That's the other part that I think metal detecting is needed.
Yeah, it would have been cooler if someone had lost it in 1880 or whatever. But I'm pretty sure of it. I'm talking to a ghost. It is Halloween.
So moving through that, like, so did you like just like hunt with the Radio Shack one, or did you like slowly move through different machines?
I hunted with that Radio Shack machine forever until it broke and wouldn't work anymore. I can't tell you what model it was or anything. It was like the old, I don't even know what you call that. I'm guessing it was like an old school VLF with the like Geiger counter meter.
Oh yeah.
Needle, but it was like some sort of relic kind of machine, if I'm not mistaken, because you could pull the coil off the end of the shaft, and where it came out of the shaft, it had like a bicycle grip, little handle on the end, so you could take it and wave it around by hand in places as opposed to swinging like the entire machine around.
So like for under crawl spaces and stuff like that?
Exactly. And I used it to reach in places, like where you couldn't swing a whole machine, like under a porch or in bushes and stuff like that.
And that's cool because, people think of Radio Shack, they think of crappy, really terrible metal detectors. But Radio Shack at that time period, like that was the electronic store to go to, and they made great stuff.
Absolutely. I found out a lot of stuff with that thing, and I kept that machine until it didn't work anymore, probably in the 80s. And then, sorry, we had a fly in here.
I got him. Put your hat.
So once you moved out of the Radio Shack machine, what did you go to?
My wife bought me my first good metal detector years after that, in like 1996 or something maybe, and she ordered me a Garrett GTA 350 Ultra, and I used that machine until the AT Pro came out. Actually,
the GTIs were fantastic machines. The whole GT series were great machines.
Yeah, I've recently reacquired one that I got from a pawn shop, and I haven't taken it out yet, but I will one of these days. Like a trip down Old Memory Lane.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, because you're not going to forget the sounds or how to tune it. I mean, it's like riding a bicycle, right?
Yeah. No VDI numbers, just a little bar graph that says foil, nickel, dime, penny, quarter, dollar, and the old solid coil before the pinpointer days.
So yeah, a couple questions. We're gonna kind of get to those as we can. Jimmy Bordlevisk, that was terrible French. Said, "Why do you hate my French coins?"
Oh,
You don't have to answer that.
I don't.
I mean,
Okay,
you
good.
can. And then if you want, it's up to you. And it said, Bob, did you get to take?
I hate Brad's French coins. Yeah, that's definitely for sure.
Like master.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff. Jeff, for the super chat and said, put some bend in that hat. Here you go. Here you go, buddy. I don't think I can get it
Yeah,
quite like
you're-
Bob's.
You're feeling pretty bad.
So, somebody asked earlier, I'm going to catch this question. Were you ever in the service?
Negative.
Negative on the service question. Okay. So, Nick Haas says an analog man in a digital world. I love it.
Absolutely.
So moving forward, as you moved into an AT Pro, was it hard for you to get used to like the digital readout, or do you still just dig by tones?
I think when I probably first got that AT Pro, I probably got pretty hung up in all that crazy VDI number and improved technology, fine scale stuff, thinking, wow, these things pretty much should probably do everything by now except dig your target out of the ground for you, which obviously is heartbreaking when you're like, oh, dime, dime, dime. Oh, cancel off.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the
That's back to the whole days before there were VDI numbers and all that stuff. So
yeah. I mean, then you didn't get your hopes up. Colonial Fiend, thank you for the super chat to keep the brim straight, so we're good.
oh yeah. No, do you iron that hat?
Did I iron it? No, it's where the fine people made it this way, and you're lucky. I just took the tags off of it. I was mini
They only
pearling.
made it that way to fit flat in a box.
It's the way it came.
It comes out in a well, yeah, because it came in a box.
So man, I don't even know if we have like any concurrent thought. We're just hats and so. And for folks who don't know, you're not originally from Maryland, right?
I am. I was born here. My family is not, and my mother's side of my family is not. But we did a whole lot more traveling back and forth back then in the good old days than people do now.
Right.
Like
So
whole summer. And
so
all of that.
in your traveling and in your metal detecting, were there sites like once you figured out you really enjoyed it? Were there sites that you like you actually like went purposely to dig? Like, did you go to mill sites or home sites or battlefields?
I didn't do any of that sort of kind of digging until I met these knuckleheads I hang out with now. I literally just used to go to the standard run-of-the-mill tot lots and schools and parks and stuff like that. And I mean, back then it never occurred to me to like go knock on somebody's door and ask them if I could dig holes in their yard. Because when I was young, old men would come chasing you out if your ball went in their yard.
So yeah, adventure archaeology. Thank you for the super chat to bend the hat back. It's going to get wore out if we keep messing with it.
Or it'll be right.
Or it'll be like, right, okay, there you go. Is there a certain degree of bend you have to have on your hat, Bob?
All the way.
Yeah, there is. and you are nowhere near close to it.
Not even
He's
close.
really worried about the condition of his hair.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. I can see it. I'll send it up for you next time I see you.
Why don't you slide in your digging in Virginia maybe? Why don't you slide in your co person there? I would say co. The fun part about the Hoover boys is you never just get one of them. You're always going to get multiple Hoover boys to harass you and give you a hard time. So, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's one of them infections that won't go away.
Somebody asked. Somebody said they knew that you were sick a little while ago. It's and they were checking to make sure that you're still okay.
I was sick. Who's checking on my health?
Who was that? I can't remember who it is. Diggin' Buddy. Diggin'
Well,
Buddy
thank you, Diggin'
said,
Oh, I had a nasty, hacking, coughing stuff. Ooh, no.
Bugmaster, he ain't going for that.
Oh,
20. That's not going to happen.
that's illegal in most states, actually.
So we can move into this. So when did you guys first, obviously Metal Detecting Club, right? You guys met there?
Not this guy.
No, not me. I thought about joining that club, like back when internets and computers came out a really long time ago, and I discovered there was a metal detecting club near me, but I was probably like in my late 20s, and I was like, man, I am not going to join a metal detecting club and be like the only guy under 70, because the only people I ever saw metal detecting were old men, sorry to say. And
Look at you now.
look at me now. Still the only handsome as ever. Well, he can tell you the story how we met, because I probably can't remember.
Apparently, you always correct me when I tell that story. So
How do I correct you?
I want to hear both sides of the story.
who do you want first?
Are there real
Yours. I want probably the real version, which is probably Kurt's version.
Yeah, let's hear this.
So I get a random Facebook message from a guy.
It was a YouTube message. See, I corrected him already. Yeah, because I was replying to a video.
Well, you found me on Facebook and sent me a message, and you said that
Are
you
you
wanted
sure?
a sticker
He
for
could be
your...
right. Okay, go ahead.
Bob was some guy who wanted a sticker for his food bottle, and it just so happened at the time he lived like 5-10 minutes away from me, so we met in the Home Depot parking lot, and Bob started talking, and he's never stopped ever since.
That's good, though.
Is it?
He is the most entertainment wherever we go. No day is the same without Bobby there, whether that be us driving around for 8 hours and never even digging a hole, or us having the best
We
day
do
of
that
our
a lot.
lives.
We do drive around and not do the whole lot.
If this guy's here, we're all laughing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it is funny. There are a lot of folks that want you to have your own channel, like Bob,
Yes.
Bob, Redneck Bob's rant of the week.
Oh,
I've been telling him for years.
I mean, I think you would do great at it. I personally know at least, I mean, tens of people would sign up at a minimum.
It'd be dangerous.
Because I actually get inside of this
It could be
thing.
dangerous. You people do not want to know what's in here.
No, we're not asking for all of it, just a small portion. But I mean, I know that Bill, he shoots some video as well and kind of contributes to the channel. Have you ever considered doing your own channel, like in seriousness?
No, I have not. And I've tried to record just digs that I've done by myself, and they don't turn out well.
Your live digs are classic.
Oh, God.
As long as I don't record them.
Well, no, even when Kurt's recording them, they're classic. They're like, are you going to commit to doing this? Or
Being this videographer, the editor, the producer, like all that stuff, it's just like, oh, Bob, what are you doing? Like he's better than what he is when he live digs. I don't know if he's like the camera turns on and it just for whatever reason he can never find his target. And it's like
it's minerals in the ground and iron nails.
A missed pinpoint.
Really? Wow.
Like,
I don't think my coil wire was tight. I don't know what all he's saying.
Whenever we live dig any signal, I'm like, take your time, get your mark, and when we're in a plow field or wherever, we'll put a little mark in the ground to mark where it is. So when we do the live dig, it speeds up the process. We're like, let me hear some audio, whoop, 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 and you already know, like, you have a mark on the ground of where you think the coin is or wherever you think the relic is to dig. So it's not like a whole drawn-out process.
But then I dig a hole,
Bob will
and
dig a hole.
the target's 3 feet away.
Bob will dig a hole, then put his machine down. After you move some earth, swing over to see where the target is. You move your target, or the target's out, or the target's in. He puts his machine down, just like, you don't even know where it is. So he goes in with his pinpointer, and just I don't know. I love this guy, and that's all there is.
When I dig my holes, the targets are so scared they tunnel away underground. Apparently, that's what I think. That's the only way I see it happening. Like it.
Absolutely
Not
fantastic.
that I don't like it. It's just I have to edit it and make when you have a long video and 8 minutes is digging one coin, it's tough to edit sometimes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to create this riff.
He's always like this.
All right, we're
We're
gonna turn the fan on now. It's getting hot.
Yeah, it's getting worked up.
So, Kevin, thank you for Potter County Diggers. Much appreciated. So,
Shirt the other day.
Colonial Fiend did ask, and we'll kind of bring this up. So, you guys are obviously we've talked about this before, and the different streams we've been hung out together. Bobby, have you ever gotten into any trash pits, Colonial, Civil War, anything like that? A lot of the stuff is obviously shown as coin heavy because you hunt a lot of house sites, but do you ever run across those kind of signals? Or you ever dug a trash pit?
We've done a button dump.
Yeah, not a trash pit on purpose, I would say. Yeah, no, we haven't really gone out specifically looking for trash pits. Unless I saw some trash on the ground, I rightly wouldn't know how to really find a trash pit.
Right.
Bottles, that's the biggest thing.
Big iron, that's it. Sucks to dig, but big, deep iron, that's the way you find trash pits. And all those guys know that.
That's how I find old broken plow points and old broken shovel heads and hoes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you end up with if you go out to try to dig one, but you'll end up digging 1,000 broken plow points and forever.
Sickle blades and
I do.
axe heads and
Yep, yeah, all that stuff.
you gotta get it out of the ground though, because there's big iron signals. If you're at a home site or wherever, you gotta dig those big iron signals because they're gonna mask smaller coin signals or relic signals, bottom signals, whatever, a pretty good distance away from the actual target itself. Those big iron signals will mask a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially when you have big, crazy shaped stuff like those sickle pieces, and any of those iron rings and stuff. They always sound good.
They do.
So
that's why I dig them all. I love them.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, please put at Gone Diggin' or at the Hoover Boys in the chat, and we will try to get to those as we can. So
nice.
Do you guys ever? So obviously you all can't go out together all the time, but do you ever go out
Hardly.
individually or just Bob and Bill goes out. Like, I think that would make a great episode.
Wouldn't it?
I wouldn't like to see Bob and Bill out by themselves, but I mean, it does happen occasionally. I'm pretty sure Bill and I have gone out just by ourselves.
Gone digging?
Gone digging, maybe once or twice, maybe. Yeah, it's just more fun the more people you have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, it is a tougher order, taller order to get more people into one place.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing.
It can be.
But like, I rarely go out by myself anymore. Like, it's got to be like a really bad day, and I need to clear my head, sort of thing, for me to go out metal detecting by myself anymore.
Yeah, it's not much fun.
Bob, what is your success rate at getting permission for the group?
Say that again.
Yeah, what's Bob's success rate? Like, do you ever go like, "Hey, Bob, you got this one"?
Yeah, when I strike out a bunch, it's Bob, I need some help, or it's your turn, or like some days I'm like, Bob, you're up first, But it always comes down to the person answering the door. They're either going to be well receptive or they're not going to be receptive of it. It doesn't matter what you say. I mean, obviously you could say something that's going to put them off, but
I would never say anything to put them off.
no, we try not to say certain.
If they can't resist my charm, then it's not happening. It's true. But permissions are as hit and miss as digging a silver coin every target. It's not going to happen.
There's days where we've got out and every single person said yes, and those days we've gone out and everybody said no.
Yeah. Yep. You can knock on 100 doors, and all 100 or 99 of them will be a piece of can slaw. And it's just not going to happen that day.
I guess this is a kind of group question. Have you ever like gone somewhere or gotten a yes and just thought, man, this place isn't like the 1950s house, and you're like, I just don't think anything's here, and it just like completely just floored you? Or, versus like knocking on that like 1600s house where, I mean, I've personally done it, gotten permission to this huge old mansion, and you're like, yes, this is going to be great, and there's nothing there because it's either been hammered. Have you ever gone to one of those permissions that you were just like floored? Like, how is this stuff here?
Actually, the episode that we have called Dumb Luck it's a few years ago. We met up with a guy that it was his birthday, and his wife messaged us, and we met up with him at a park, and we started digging. Like, we had to drive pretty far to meet this guy. We met up at a park, like it was a surprise for him. He didn't know we were going to be there, sort of thing. And we started digging, and we found out like a weed or two, and it wasn't like, I'm like, let's go door knocking. So like we convoyed, like me and my truck, he followed, and we're just going to places, door knocking. And we pulled into a place. It didn't look terribly old, but it was a huge farm. It looked like 1900, maybe a little, later into the 1800s, but it wasn't anything crazy. We were walking to the farm field, and Leo, or the guy we were digging with, Leo turned his machine on in the grass section between where the driveway is,
right next to where we parked,
and the field, and he nails a copper right off the bat. It turned into 27 coppers in this little grass patch, before the field. We ended up finding a couple coppers in the field, but it was just like the most dumb luck thing.
That's cool, and that's actually a great episode. I've actually seen that one, and that was a few years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was just like somebody threw handfuls of coppers all over the place and walked away.
I mean, it was everything
for
from
no reason.
King George the seconds, the thirds. I don't know if we found any firsts in there.
Half cents. Liberty Cap half cents.
Liberty Cap large cents.
Large cents.
We got Connecticut coppers out of there. The guy we were digging with dug a Virginia halfpenny in the field. I mean, it was just, they aren't bad looking coins either.
Nope, that was a good day.
That was a good day. Brad was working that day.
It
was me, you, and Leo.
Yes. That sounds weird. Who
Leo?
was saying that? Who?
I don't know.
Oh, is that the guy who's
Leo, are you watching? Are you alive?
Leo's not here.
Okay, but, yeah.
Leo's not here. He's croc shopping.
He's shopping for Crocs.
Shopping for crocs.
That's cool, man. That's I always like interested in hearing those kind of stories because sometimes you don't have to knock on those great places that look great, you know.
There's so many like nice.
Some of the best looking houses, like you said, will have 2 wheat pennies on the whole joint, and that's it. And then the next one you go to might be half the size and not look anywhere remotely as interesting, and it's just full of relics and coins, and you're just like, why? And it's just cool. That's why you do what we do.
There's nothing like getting that yes. And when you get that yes at a colonial place or pre-colonial place or even, an early 1800s place, I mean, that's my passion is the early America. And when you get that yes, like it's such a rush, a feeling of accomplishment, and like you're going to do great. And then when it turns out to be filled dirt or it's just already like very few times it's already hammered to death because we can still squeak out a few things.
Whole
like
tabs
when
and
it's filled dirt, you pop that first plug and it's just like black, and then you pull out like a half a can and like a foot deep. You're like, ugh.
topsoil and soda cans, 20 inches deep. What the what? Yeah, not good.
Not good.
Not
good.
Yeah, I mean the fill dirt place that one of my best places I've ever went, and I'll ask you guys this: do you ever run across any churches that you metal detect?
We haven't done too many churches.
I found a little small church, and I called the pastor and said, "Hey, if I find anything cool, I'll make a donation to the church." And I ended up doing it, but I got into one little coin. It was all seededs. I dug 6 seeded coins where they had a fair right in the corner of this churchyard. And apparently the ground was low in that area because it was about 20 foot wide, and then it all turned to fill, and all the coin signals just kept going that way.
We knocked on a door one time where a lady answered the door, and she's like, "Oh, you can talk to my husband, but he metal detects." Right? So like we go over to his like barn, like office,
workshop thing,
whatever it was. The guy was filthy rich. He owns his own business, but he metal detects. He's not too far away, and he's got a early colonial farm, huge piece of property, and he's found a 13 states George Washington button in his front yard. That's like the most beautiful example I've ever seen in my life. Like I couldn't tell you how many reals he's pulled off of his actual farm.
This dude had like waste basket trash cans in like his business office.
He's found a floating hair
full of coppers that he like didn't even know what they were. I don't even look at them anymore. I just dig them and throw them in here.
But he used to
And there was
live
buckets of them.
he used to live closer to like where I do now, and he was telling me a church that's not too far away that he had permission at. And one year they took down all these bushes on the side of the church, so he went and metal detect that patch of bushes, and he ended up finding 27 seated Liberty dimes in that patch.
Oh my gosh!
I guess the whole rest of the place had been detected, but that place, I don't know. I mean, he didn't seem like a fabricator, but it's just like
just people throwing coins out the windows.
You never know.
Or might get sometime soon.
Me either.
Yeah.
I'm seated right now.
I haven't found a seated Liberty quarter in like 3 years, and it's killing me. I mean, it's a 1900s coin, but like I think they're beautiful, and I don't find very many of them.
I
wish I
found a
found
seated Liberty quarter.
There aren't many to. I mean, I've only found one. I mean, they're incredible coin to find.
I think they're such a cool looking coin. You never got stood up, bro?
We're talking seated.
Oh, seated. No.
Are we talking seated or standing?
Seated.
I think I found a standing quarter. Yeah, I've never found a seated quarter. This is a family show, isn't it? Okay.
Adventures in Dirt DK. And this is kind of poignant. Said, question for the boys. I'm going to DIV for the first time. Any suggestions?
Dig it all. I'm not sure
And
what.
take your trash with you.
Yeah, well, I don't know what kind of metal detector he's using, and I don't know the site they're digging. You could probably be more familiar with the site, but that soil in the DIV that we hunted last year
Culpeper dirt is evil.
was evil.
Pure evil.
When we went to JDD, just going detecting, or just go detecting, that soil you could run a BLF machine, and that's what we did because we didn't have pulse machines then, and we did pretty well, I think, for ourselves. But just dig a lot of signals. Just dig as many signals as you can, and hopefully you'll get a handful of really nice keepers.
Yeah.
Is it the same kind of soil? That same?
Yeah, it's the same kind of soil. It's really, really mineralized, and that's the biggest thing. I think with any kind of organized thing, I mean, we can even talk about pound the ground too. It's a different kind of feeling going to an organized event like that, right?
No, it absolutely is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like I mean,
It's cool.
pound the ground was out of control. I have never seen so many metal detectors in one spot in my life. I mean, granted that the farm itself was huge,
Thousands, right?
but people,
Thousands?
it was over 1,000 from what I was told. But
Thousands.
people like knew where the hot spots were. Like people did their research and where the mill was and where the houses were. I mean, you could find any random thing in a field, but when people just went straight to the hot spots that knew where they were.
Yeah,
And
the
they got-
smart people
They got
knew
something
exactly where they were going.
really quick. I was lucky to get a large scent early in the morning because after that, the next day and a half was not a whole lot. Because I was running around the video because I just wanted to,
And so, I mean, it was definitely, was like that for me too. I ended up just staying in one of those house sites for the next day and just like, all right, well, maybe there's somebody left something in here.
Yeah, we saw you the first day. I don't remember seeing you on Sunday.
I didn't
How
either.
did you end up with the trip? Like, how did you do?
Did you fly a drone over us in the first
I did.
field? Nice.
So I did do some drone flying. I stayed up on Saturday night really late drinking beer, which probably wasn't the best of ideas.
I saw that.
But we had a great time. And then Sunday, the field that I saw you guys in, I stayed right there. And there were still targets in there, but you had to be real methodical in how you hunted. And
There's a lot of iron in that area.
it was a lot. And you had to squeak out a target in between the iron. And I basically spent like 4 hours just kind of hanging out in what I found. I actually did dig a pit there. I actually found a corner foundation of one of those buildings there.
Nice.
I saw that. I saw that on the Gone Digging video.
Yeah.
I watched Gone Digging videos, and it was on there. I saw it. I did too.
I mean, you should. You've got the baddest bling necklace ever.
I do have pretty cool.
So it was it was a lot of iron in there, but and I guess I can turn this into something else. Well, I mean, so with the whole like Hoover boys, did you ever like what do you think about like the recognition from this?
It's pretty crazy.
Did
Crazy.
Did you ever have a consideration that any of this stuff would ever happen? You'd get to go to these places and do this sort of stuff?
10 years ago, I figured besides a small handful of the same old nice, kind, elderly gentlemen that I saw around every once in a while, I was like the only person metal detecting for 100 miles of here. I never would have thought it. Never. Until I found these guys on YouTube, and I just searched metal detecting on YouTube, and I'm like, what are the chances? What are the chances there's going to be a metal detecting video? And when I just typed in metal detecting, I was astonished. And then there were so many, I had to narrow the field to just my state, and then the city, and then that's when I saw these guys. And I was like, what?
And at that point in time, Bob had never dug an Indian head penny.
Never dug an Indian head penny.
And since then, you've dug the holy grail of Indian head pennies.
Right? I have. That's all skill. So,
Skill.
There's no luck involved in what
I'm going to go dig that 1877 right over there.
Exactly. I say that every time I go out.
I do actually believe a little bit of power. I'm not like crazy about it. The power of positivity. I mean, like
the bound to reel fishing technique. You cast it out, reel it in, and you're bound to reel past a fish one of these times.
Yeah.
You need to have confidence in your gear. Like the worst thing to do is not have confidence in the thing you swing. People like, people still think we're sponsored by Garrett. I have never received a penny from Garrett for swinging a Garrett metal detector. It's what I choose to swing because it's what I know the most. It's how I know how certain things, that I know what things ring up on that machine. I know what it's telling me. I know its language, and to know,
is that language English?
I don't know.
Oh.
To know what a machine is telling you is so important when you're out in the field.
Yeah, he can tell you right quick in that point. Yes, when I'm confident, which is almost all the time about anything. But if I even had the slightest idea that something's messed up with my machine or a coil or something, wrecked. I might as well not even turn it on and just walk around and swing all day because I will not find anything. And I will just cry all day. I don't think my coil's working right. It can totally wreck your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have any doubt in what you're doing, that's to me the hardest thing because I do swing multiple different brands of machines. It's the hardest thing to go from one machine to another. And I mean, like you said, when you guys know your machine, you know it. There's no question. If something's messed up, you know instantaneous.
A few years ago, man, I was using a different machine on almost every hunt. And, like, I'm pretty good with that stuff, but, like, because we dig it all, you know what I mean? Like, you know what's a good signal, what's a bad signal, but to know the little tiny nuances of a machine is so important when you want to get certain.
It's the most importantest part. The most important part.
The little nuances mean so much, between getting that little extra out of your machine.
Right. If you don't speak the language, you may ask for a taco and wind up going to the bathroom. You never know.
Oh my God. Not the analogy I was looking for, but I'll take
Put
it.
an analogy on your lap.
But it was funny, so we.
It was funny. So I guess that's kind of interesting. I like that, and I like kind of figuring, like hearing that. Who knows where this hobby will take you, and
No telling.
that's
No telling. Hopefully a machine that will dig the target up for you or just to pull it up out of the ground with the push of a button. That's what I'm hoping for one day.
No more bending over, no more knees.
No more carrying shovels around.
Brad digs a lot of Bob's.
I wouldn't say he digs a lot of Bill's holes,
They,
but Bill doesn't. Oh, what?
Brad and Bob like sharing holes.
We do. Yeah. Right. Excited.
So let's go. I did see. I'll ask Charles's question. Just kind of. Do you have? Oh, Lloyd's here. What is up? Digging with 7. Nice to see you.
That's Lloyd. Yeah, correct.
Do you have a favorite find?
Wow, I did not expect anybody to ask that question.
That's the most.
Is it the most asked question?
I would say it probably is, yeah. It's probably the hardest one to answer, too.
It is. He's like, for me, I like all the stuff, all the cool stuff that I found. I mean, there's few choice nuggets, but to pick one out of it, it's tough.
For me, I'd have to say
Definitely some American.
it's definitely a toss-up between the G-Dub button and the Pewter USA button, but I would have to go with G-Dub every
The
day.
USA buttons are more rare.
USA button is more rare, but it's
G-Dub is hard to.
G-Dub is G-Dub.
G-Dub
Correct.
is G-Dub.
That's
There was only
tough.
one G-Dub.
That's tough
There were
because
lots of USA
because the
buttons.
Pewter USA, that boy probably fought with G-Dub.
Yeah, but there was only one G-Dub,
Well,
and he was the president of America.
fair enough. Fair enough.
The president of America.
So, and just like that, we've made it almost an hour. Let's ask. I got a few other questions I got in
Does
here.
Brad have any questions? Is Brad
What's-
even here?
I saw Brad in here.
Brad?
Brad's very in the chat. If you didn't know, Brad's urban treasure hunting.
Yeah, I did.
I'm just saying for the people out there.
Oh yeah. So urban treasure hunting. Click on his nice.
Go subscribe to Urban Treasure Hunting.
Yeah,
That's
go
great.
subscribe to him as well.
Serious.
So I hope you guys support each other in the chat as much as you supported us with hanging out tonight.
Brad's going.
Dude, if that gets me, you got to turn that off.
Yeah, sorry, that's Brad Johns from the Hoover Boys. Hi, Brad Johns.
Put on
How
speaker.
are you?
Put on speaker. Speakerphone.
Hold on.
My
They're
wife's
putting you
cracking
on.
up because she heard the ringtone.
They're putting you on speakerphone.
Oh, hey, what up?
Say hi to the nice people.
You get the numbers on not on there.
No, say hi to the nice folks. Bradley.
Yeah, can you make it so I can say hi?
Yeah, say hi to the nice people.
Now we've got 3 out of the 4 there.
Yeah,
Wow, it's the Hoover 3.
it is the
Ooh.
Hoover 3, PH3.
So,
I'll drink that.
Where's
So-
my Bud Light Flat?
You got to drive an hour and you can have as many as you want.
Dude, that's like 3 hours.
Okay, hold on. Matt has a question.
all right. So, so just kind of quick, if you could go anywhere in the world and dig tomorrow, no laws, nothing, you could go dig anywhere without repercussion, where would you go?
Ooh, that is very difficult. That is very difficult. Oh, and we're talking about strictly metal detecting here, right?
You could do
Right,
anything.
right.
Any sort of treasure hunting you wanted to do.
Any sort of treasure hunting.
Okay.
I would probably go find that Oak Island treasure.
Go where it's at.
Put an end to it, a day or two max. Done, over with. Now we finally know.
And if Bob can't find it, nobody can find it.
That's what I'm thinking.
We would ravish that island.
That's what I'm thinking. I would like to go there. That's probably where I would go if I could go anywhere. I would go to Oak Island. Number one, just to say that I treasure hunted Oak Island.
Because you know the story before the show.
And I know the story before the show. I was around when they buried that treasure. I remember how many steps from that one rock. I think I still stand a chance. There was a lot of rum involved in that.
Hello, day, lady.
So is there a single find or an amount of money that would get you to not ever swing a metal detector again?
Ooh.
Like if you found one item, is there a bucket list thing that you said I would be done after that?
I actually don't have a bucket list. I've actually never had a bucket list. Ever. Really. I mean, I've dug that Indian head penny. I never dug one before, and then I found one, and then I found the one. I found some pretty cool, crazy stuff, but I mean, besides my fictitious birch scent, that's my only bucket list because they made 3 of them. And if they made 3 of them, there has to be one left to find in my head.
I agree.
But no, absolutely no. That would be like saying, is there a fish that you could go out and you could catch that one fish and never fish again? No. What would be the point in that?
Right. Oh, I agree. I guess the point would be to look for it, right?
Because without the fishing, it's just called catching.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like it's not finding.
Yeah, I'm into the hunt. I'm into the hunt more than the treasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My own personal favorite best Bob find is that huge gold fancy ring.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I thought you were going to say gold coins, but
no. I mean the gold coin. The gold coin's cool, but I don't know. I just found that personal artifact. I thought that was just. Plus, that thing was massive.
I like personal items more than coins. Absolutely.
That ring, like it's not like the finger size of that ring is very small.
Like
like it barely fits.
It won't fit on my pinky.
Like halfway down the pinky finger, but it's like almost an ounce of gold. It is so unbelievably heavy. Like if anybody ever had the chance to hold this thing, you'd be blown away.
They made tiny men back then.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And then the only other question I have is, what do you eat for lunch?
I really only eat lunch when I'm with these guys. And it's because I know I'm going to be burning a lot of calories walking 60, 70 miles a day. Conditions.
Well, I mean, I thought that was poignant for eat your lunch. So I wanted to know what Bob ate relic hunting or metal detecting lunch wise.
I mean Italian cold cuts.
I like Italian cold cuts, or what is my? Probably my next favorite is the Wawa. Everybody doesn't have Wawa, though. I'm sorry about that. I'm terribly sorry about your luck. But Wawa makes a tuna fish salad club sandwich that's to die for. I like it.
All right.
I don't think I've ever.
If it's 120 degrees out, then that is a definite no-no.
Oh my
You
God.
don't like to go to that.
Like tuna fish in a bottle of milk.
No, tuna fish with a jar of mayonnaise on 120 degree days. Not what.
And then I guess the other question I have, like, are you always are you an Elvis fan?
You have a lot of questions.
I know I do have a lot of questions. Dude, I did tell you this was an interview show, right?
I wouldn't say I'm a huge Elvis fan as much as, like, from the time I was born, every moment I was awake as a child, my mother had Elvis playing, or I was looking at pictures of Elvis, or there were Elvis movies. My mother's an Elvis fanatic. I've been over Elvis exposed. I'm sorry. I need Elvis Anonymous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for Elvis Anonymous.
Well,
And I just like it. That's a cool saying.
I do. I get a chuckle every time I hear it. So if anybody else has any other questions, we have knocked down a full complete hour of hanging out with Bob and Kurt. So it's been fun.
Oh. Hank Williams fan? Oh no.
What?
Don't mind the crying
Stop
child.
pinching that baby.
Hank Williams?
Oh no.
Mommy. Yeah, somebody asked if I was a Hank Williams fan.
Our original Hank Williams or his son?
Junior. Well, you can't not be a Hank Williams fan.
It's true. You know, he's pretty big into metal detecting. We probably could get him out if you want to go.
Bo Cephas?
Yeah.
Bo Cephas is my man.
Yeah, you want to go relic hunting with him?
I do. Absolutely.
All right, well, let's see if we can put that together.
I was going to ask if we could go metal detecting with you.
Anytime.
You heard it, folks.
Open invitation.
We need to make that happen.
Are you going to get in the shark-infested waters?
Oh, yeah.
Shark infested. Do you have water down there that's not shark infested?
Yeah, none of our water has sharks.
Bob's only scared of two things. One is airplanes, two is sharks.
Well, no, that's wrong.
Well, number one is sharks, but you don't like airplanes.
Sharks and the devil. They're the only two things I'm afraid of. I can avoid airplanes.
Correct.
I'm not going on an airplane unless I'm going to jump out on purpose. But sharks? Why? Have you seen the teeth on them? No. And the devil?
Yeah, shark teeth on all the time. Well, I used to as a kid.
All right, well, we won't go water hunting if you got a thing about sharks.
Well, we can, as long as there's no sharks.
Yeah, there's no sharks. I've never seen any. I found their teeth, but I've never...
If we take Bill, because the sharks will be more attracted to him.
It's because
Tastier?
He's tastier.
He's tastier.
Comes by sense of smell, right?
So,
And
finders...
they can feel all the bubbles coming out of him with their lateral line. Yeah, I would be safe as long as Bill was there.
Sharks on a plane is not something you'll be watching in the movie theaters.
No, absolutely not. And Sharknadoes, forget that. I'm not going to the Midwest if they have Sharknadoes.
Think of Samuel L. Jackson's line on sharks on a plane.
Yeah, that's all I got. I would
How many more?
unless you have anything else, any other words of wisdom? Could we get a preview of a Bob rant? Like,
Oh, we don't want that here. This is family programming.
it is a family program. All right.
Just pick a subject. Go ahead, hit me.
Oh, all right. Haters on the internet.
What do you say?
Haters on the internet.
Haters on the internet.
Yeah, the old,
Oh, man.
Keyboard warriors.
Oh, those guys?
yeah, keyboard warriors.
I don't know that there's a lot to say about these poor little boys whose mommies didn't change their diapers enough. And, yeah, you don't want to get me started on that.
Maybe that was.
I wanted to do, actually, a video. I wanted Kurt, because I was planning on doing the driving when we went to Pound the Ground. And I had this brilliant idea that they would film me as Brad was reading, because I saw a video that someone else had done recently. Yeah. Where the guy was commenting on, like, hater comments on his videos.
He was reading.
He was reading the actual comments and showing them, like, hey, look here.
That's pretty good. I could never bring myself to respond to all of those. I mean, comments.
The responses would have been quite mean and hurtful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I wanted to do it, but I didn't do it. We didn't do it. It would have been fun.
A lot of them, I mean, I go through all my comments, and I when there's something completely outlandish, sometimes I respond to them. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'll just delete them because it's just like, you're not worth my time. You know what I mean? Like, it's like people think, you find something good. It's like, okay, well, you planted that. I'm sorry, but why would anybody
Brad plant that gold coin and then break it?
Yeah, and then break it in
That's
four pieces?
stupid.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's pure jealousy that people don't believe that these things are out there to be found. If you look hard enough, um, you know, you're going to find these items. I mean,
You have to go to the right places.
yeah. You put the time, the effort, and the work in, you're going to find these items. I mean, you
Yeah, you
can't do
can't
it.
be
I mean,
like a
anybody.
hot lead and then freak out because dudes are digging flowing hair silvers and colonial coppers when you just go to the tot lot at the local playground.
If I planted my finds, some of my finds would have some details.
Yeah, they wouldn't all be wiped out old nasty coppers. Why would anybody fake that?
And like then you get the comments like, why do you guys get excited about finding these dirty, nasty, disgusting coppers that you can't ID? It's like, well, there's other stuff there too. It's not just the disgusting copper coins. I mean, you don't know when you're going to find an old silver, which isn't going to be disgusting and pitted and all torn up or no, it could be smooth.
Correct. And if
It's all history. It's all a piece of that property's history.
if we collectively don't go out and find this stuff, it'll just be in the ground for another 300 years until it's all shopping malls and highways, and then it's gone. And, we enjoy digging it up because it's history.
It's fun.
And it's fun, and you get to hang out with some knuckleheads and an occasional weirdo, and it's a good time.
Matt.
Oh, Matt. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, Matt.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm an occasional weirdo and knucklehead. I'll live to that. The guys I dig with know that.
This hobby is so funny because, we're all a little bit of an introvert. Because, my favorite part of the day is when we meet up in the morning or whenever it is, and that initial little bit of BSing you do before you put your headphones on and you go separate ways, or you know what I mean. It's because you don't know what the day is going to hold, and you don't know if this is going to be the best day of your life, the worst day of your life, or just another day.
But one thing you can be assured of, if you're hanging out with friends, it's going to be a great day.
Absolutely.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you find stuff or you don't find stuff because you don't find stuff every time. But like some wise person once said on the interweb, a hater's going to hate. You can't pick. There's nothing we can do to change anybody's mind aside from something impossible like every fool that thinks we plant and fake all these old, disgusting, nasty coins. I would have found 2,500 birch cents by now if I was going to fake something. Oh, it's another birch cent. Oh, gee, I've done another birch cent. Sorry.
It was George Washington who said, "A hater's gonna hate."
I believe so. He was a smart guy.
He was well ahead of his time.
Huh?
Well, I can live with that, and I think you're right. That is the enjoyable part of this hobby is that I'm the same way as you, Kurt. I very rarely go out by myself. Unfortunately, schedules don't always align, and I do have to go out sometimes, or do go out by myself sometimes. But it's one of those things that it's always way more fun to dig with somebody else, with your buddies, to razz them, to give them a hard time and say, "Look what I found," But sometimes everybody has those days where you just get worked over by everybody and you just can't put your coil over it. And there's that empathy for the people you're with. Like, man, I wish you would find a wheat penny or
as the cameraman, those days can be really tough.
Yeah, and I have a lot of those days.
It's weird because I found so much cool stuff. I don't care who finds the stuff. I like seeing it found. But you want to find cool stuff too.
I like finding cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Brad can't find it all.
Some of my favorite days, because Bob and I work different jobs, but we're in the same area. So every once in a while, Bob comes and gives me a visit to where I work, and those little moments are, I don't know. I don't always get to see him out digging, so I get to see him, while we're working. It's just we're both getting paid right now to hang out.
Quite romantical. Yeah. Yeah. Loving the hood.
Good finds or no finds, it's all about the good times.
Correct. That's what I was going to say. Like those big, huge events. You know, I don't think any of us really. We didn't.
Yes.
None of us really like lit the world on fire and pound the ground because there were like 15,000 people there, and so the site was so huge. You know, I found one large site, a bunch of buttons and stuff, perfectly happy, but I got to meet hundreds, tens of thousands of people that I would only know
There was a lot of people.
Facebook or YouTube or whatever. And when you get to meet them in person, it's freaking awesome. That's what it's about.
Whenever we go
That's
to a big event, like you can't be expected to just wreck shop.
Correct.
You know, if you find a good find or two, like that's awesome. But like for us, or for me at least, like we go there to meet the people. It's like we don't always get to see, you know, a lot of the people that follow us. It's awesome to experience that.
Yeah.
And this one was out of this world because like we're signing autographs and stuff. And like we don't do this. We're not.
Yeah, I know.
We don't consider ourselves like people that sign autographs. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
You know, and for the folks who don't know, first of all, thank you, Lloyd Digging with 7 for the super chat. Much appreciated. Great dude, great channel. But what I really got a kick out of is on the morning of the second day, the little guy who came up and wanted a picture. Like, that's cool to me, and I think that's probably where you know that you've made it in this hobby. Is that little, I don't know, he couldn't have been, what, maybe 7 or 8?
Oh, I thought he was talking back. Oh, sorry. I thought
No, for you guys. Like, to see you guys, like, surround this little guy who had I think he had an A series, he was there with his dad, and, like, to me, I think that's probably the pinnacle of, like, I think where you go.
He was super shy and like I don't know, thrown back by the whole situation. Because I mean, I guess like he watches the videos with his dad. I don't know, but like you know, he was just like a statue. Like he didn't know what to do. It's like I don't know what to do with my hands. You know what I mean? It was so cute. And I love the kids. I have 3 of them, and I know how to.
Yeah,
Somebody?
but what do you do with your hands?
I don't know. That's why I usually have a shovel in one and a metal detector in the other. When they're not there, I don't know what to do.
It is, especially when
Unless
you're on
somebody
camera.
rubs me the wrong way, then I know what to do.
When
Yeah.
you're on camera.
But and Brad said, yeah, he loves that picture as well. And I think that's pretty cool when, like, I think that's kind of where you go, man, if I ever ended up in a hobby like that's cool that you have, like,
They're cool.
that kind of impact on everyone.
Heck yeah. When I was wee little, if I would have met a dude that had his own face sticker.
No, that's a cheap joke. That is nothing but a cheap joke.
Didn't me? Oh, digging.
A few comments every single like episode we post is like, when are you guys coming out with the Redneck Bob face T-shirt?
Done.
Just like this.
Done.
I
Or,
would
like,
like.
You send me a picture and I will wear that next time I see you guys. I'll wear it in the next video. I will make one for each of you.
I haven't peeled the back off of my
Matt
sexy Matt Howell face because I don't want to waste it.
Right?
I can't decide where to put it.
It is the most coveted metal detecting sticker you can get.
That's what I'm saying.
Only 5 have been known to be seen in the wild.
What? Well, I keep thinking I'm going to put mine on my David Perdue custom handmade David Perdue
Finds box.
Relic Finds keepsake box. They're the best that you can get, and I think I'm going to put this right next to my National Rifle Association of America, protect the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States sticker, and I'm going to put it right there. But I keep forgetting because I like doing stuff like this with it.
That's all right. Well, we'll catch up and we'll do it. Do it up big, and I'll get you another one. I'll send you another one in the mail. How about that?
That mean we're going to dig together?
Yeah, whenever you want to go dig. So
When are we going to dig?
I don't
Tomorrow's
know.
Wednesday.
Tomorrow, shit, I gotta make a video.
Oh no,
No.
no!
Yeah.
We gotta go record a Red Bull video. Are you kidding me? This
Well,
long?
I tell you what, we have knocked down an hour and 15 minutes. We've run into overtime and extra innings, and there is a baseball game on, and there's a million other things to do, and there's really no other place I'd rather be but
Baseball's
for
over.
everyone in the chat, myself
Baseball's not
included. I would like to personally thank you guys for coming on and hanging out with us.
Wrap it up.
You're messing them up.
You need the box. Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up,
B.
Wrap
Am I on camera one? or
You've
three?
got to throw that into a dig. Wrap it up, Bob. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
So anyway, that's all I got. Bob, Kurt, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us, and 56 of our closest friends. While you guys are here, if you guys don't mind, reach over there and click that thumbs up button. And we're gonna slide this over, and thanks, guys.
This mic keeps moving. Whoa, we're gone. He cut us out.
So, Bob and Kurt of the Hoover Boys, thank you guys so much. Fantastic guests, incredible people. Always a great time to come and hang out with them. And I much appreciate them coming and hanging out with us here on the Gone Digging Live from the Relic Room. Next week we have Digging in Virginia. We'll do a live stream from Digging in Virginia with my buddy DK from Adventures in Dirt and all of the other great DIVers. And we're going to have a blast. Barb Connell. I don't even have any other clue who's going to be there other than Ralph, Jamie, Frankie. But we're going to have a great time. Personally, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with me, Bob and Kurt. Tonight, I hope you guys had a great evening. I had a blast. I'm not going to stop smiling about this for a while. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll start it like we do it. We'll end it like we do every week. I hope this week you get to go out and find some history. If you can't go out and find some history this week, go out and make history. My name is Matt. This is Gone Digging Live from the Relic Room, and I thank you for coming and hanging out with me this evening. We will see you soon.